I'm live now? All right. Well, thank you guys for being here tonight. This is probably going to be the easiest message I've ever had to do before um, because I've been talking to my nephew. My nephew's the one that taught me this. He's in the military. And he, we were talking, I mean, it's been several months ago. And he started talking to me about the things that they have to deal with in the military and the things that they have to go through in the military. And Logan was having an issue with some people not being, not doing what they should be doing. And, now if you're a business owner or if, I mean, this will work for every area of your life. And I was kind of taken back by it because I was like, man, that's good stuff. And I told him I'm going to preach that sometime, and I'm not going to give you any of the offering. So this breaks it down really simple, okay? All right. So all right. So when we talk about leadership or being a servant, when you are an employer, what are you looking for? When you are, let's just say, during the Christmas season, and you've got a big crowd of people that you've got to feed, who are you going to get to help you? Okay? So this goes all the way across the board. So what you have is four, and this is basically the foundation of it. So you got four spots, right? So what you have is people that are, how do you spell able? E-L? Is it E-L? L-E. I'm thinking about spelling a name instead of a. All right. Those that are able, those that are unable, those that are willing, and those that are unwilling. All right, so what you have here is a graph of how to just kind of figure out who's helping and who's not, okay? All right, now if, for instance, you've got willing and you've got able and unable. You've got unwilling, able, and unable. The last place you want to find yourself is right here because you're unwilling and unable, which the fact that you're unable may have a large impact on your willingness to do something. So my nephew, they had some guard duties going on and things like that in the military. And when you're in the military, it's tough. I don't know if you've ever been in the military, but they get down on you pretty hard. I mean, if you mess up, you're going to be cutting grass with scissors. I've got videos of it. So whether you're a pastor, whether you're a business person, whether you're trying to cook a dinner for somebody at Thanksgiving or Christmas, you're going to find these people in your life. All right, so the willing, they're willing, but they're unable. You're going to find these four categories all throughout everything you do in business, family, relationship, everything. Have you ever tried to have a relationship with somebody that didn't want to have a relationship? They're unwilling to have a relationship. So you just got to say, well, they're unwilling. So why do I have to chase and go after them? Because they're unwilling to have a relationship. Why should I do that? So what you have here is these people are unwilling. Boy, that looks like Egyptian hieroglyphics, doesn't it? If I've got the gift of interpretation, evidently. They're unwilling. They're unwilling, even though they're able to do. And this is where we get ourselves in a mess a lot of times, is because we see people and we see the talent and the gift that's on the inside of them, but they're unwilling. For whatever reason, they're unwilling to do it. They're able, they're perfectly capable of doing the job. And those of you that are in business or in any type of leadership position, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. They are able to do the job, but they're unwilling to do the job. So you've got to realize that if they're unwilling, then you can't force them or make them. They have to make that choice themselves. Nobody makes that choice for you. You have to make that choice for yourself. All right. So if I had you to make a list of people that you depend on for everything, just in life, where do they fit? If they're here, they're able but unwilling. Now that one's a tough one, because they've got the ability, and you see the ability in them, and you know they can do it. You know that they can do it. They have the potential, but for whatever reason, they can't see it in themselves, and they're not able to see it in themselves. And so what they end up doing is, even though they're able, they're unwilling. This plays into a lot of the insecurities that we have, because I know a lot of people that are perfectly capable of doing great things. The only issue is they don't believe in themselves, and they think that something horrific is going to happen if they step out and do something that nobody else has done. That kind of attitude will not get you anywhere. I mean, it will get you somewhere. It'll probably get you in the poorhouse. The worst place that you want to be in is right here. You're unwilling and you're unable. Now, unwilling and unable means you have no value. That's the worst place you can find yourself in. Now, depending on what it is, but I have found very few people in my lifetime that have fit into this category right here. Because most people that I've met and that want to follow God, they end up in this place right here because they're able to do it, but they feel like, I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. Oh, and that's a big one. Smart. Just how smart do you have to be to follow God? I mean, just how smart do you? Because I hear people talk about IQ. Intelligent quotient is basically somebody measured. You took a test on a good day or a bad day. You took a test on your ability to intellectually receive and remember the information or the creativity that you had that day. Well, what if you had the flu that day? it's not a very accurate representation of anything. Now, this one here, willing but unable. When you see people in your business, in your family, let's just say you're cooking a dinner. Who's going to make the pecan pie this Christmas? Who's going to do that? Which one? Who's going to do that? Well, you don't. You certainly don't want the one that's unwilling and the one that's unable, because first of all, they can't do it in the first place. And second of all, whatever they made, you wouldn't want to eat to begin with. They're unwilling, but they're able. That means they're going to bring the pecan pie to your house, but they're going to be mad about it, and they're going to make you pay for it with all of their, okay, you made a turkey, you made dressing, you made all this kind of stuff, but I made a pie, and you just don't appreciate me. That's where that's this category right here. Now, the willing and the unable, this one is a good one. Because if you're willing, remember, God told him, if you be willing and obedient, you'll eat the good of the land. So you didn't have to be able. You just had to be willing. And as a matter of fact, in the Bible, most of the time, God wasn't looking for people who were able. As a matter of fact, if I'm thinking, I can't remember anybody that God ever chose or looked at that was able to do what he called them to do. He always added himself to them. That's what made them able to do it. So those people are willing. What does God look for? He looks for a willing heart. How many times have we heard that? I'm sure it comes from some profound professor of biblical theology, but it holds true. If you be willing and obedient, you'll eat the good of the land. But if you're unable, the only thing you have to have, if you're willing, which is your choice. See, willingness is a choice. If I'm willing and unable, that means I need what? You need teaching and you need motivation. When is the last time that you were motivated to do something that you didn't want to do? I have never been motivated to do something that I've never done. I've never been willing to do that because it's scary. Remember when Joshua came to Moses, he said, when after the death of Moses, God came to Joshua, he said, be strong and of a good courage. And the reason he said be strong and of a good courage is because he just lost the leader that from the last generation. Everything was on him. And Joshua was just this kid out here doing whatever, blah, 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 blah. It's like our kids, we don't even see or recognize the potential in them because we're so focused on ourselves that we can't realize that God's using us to teach and to train them because he's looking for the next generation. So even if you're unable to do something, maybe it's something that's beyond you, because there are things like there's like charisma. You know, not everybody has the same charisma that I have. Let me tell you about it. Okay, so my charisma's not that high. Anyway, all right. So if you're unable, you got to have teaching and you got to have motivation, because what you need is experience. It's like so if I went out here in the woods and somebody just dropped me out in the middle of the woods, and I'm out there, I'm by myself, I've got no weapon, I got nothing but the clothes on my back. How am I going to get back to civilization when I don't even know where civilization is? Well, there are people that know how to do that. They can take a leaf and put a pin on it and it'll turn north. I mean, there's all kind of things that people can do, but I can't do that. You know why I can't do that? Because I've never done it. I mean, I can tell you the theory and everything behind it. I can tell you everything. I just can't do it because I've never done it. For instance, like with like my nephew Logan, which gave me this message. They dropped him out, and he had to find his bearings. He had to find his. They gave him a map and a compass, so he had to find his bearings and his location, which doesn't seem like that big a deal in the movies. I mean, that's all you got to do. Oh, yeah. Why don't you go out here in the woods? Go step foot in the woods. Now, I don't know if people even step foot in the woods anymore. Did you know that when you step foot in the woods and you start walking, you're going to have all kind of things and obstacles in your way, and things that you didn't even expect, like a vine. And you fall on your face. See, that's experience. When you have done it and you're successful at it, that is experience. And so for me to be like, oh, well, Logan, you're an idiot. That's, so many yards away, because he was in sniper training at one time, and it was like, that's that many yards away. And I even know the landscape. I know how far things are. And he says, no, it's not that far. It's really only about 100 yards. It just looks that way because of the dip. See, that's experience. That's somebody that has had to take a shot at a target a long way away. Or let's just say that he and I were at our house and the big bomb dropped, the big one, where everybody's, zombies, apocalypse, all that kind of stuff. All right, how do I get from, because I don't have my phone anymore, and with the EMP, electromagnetic pulse that shoots through the air, no cars are going to be available. There's nothing that's going to be, I got to get from my house to Dad's house, which is just, as the crow flies, it's probably, 5 miles maybe, not that far. All right, but if I had to start in this place, first of all, I am willing to get there. I'm not in this area. I am definitely unable to get there because I don't have the experience. And that's the thing that we young people do with the generation today. They don't look to the older generation to tell them or teach them anything. they go to the internet, and let me tell you, yes, the internet is full of information. I could go to the internet right now, and I could find out how to just about build anything. But I've never done it. That's the difference between knowledge and experience. You know, in the book of Proverbs, it says, you know, to add to your wisdom experience so that you are able to understand what you're talking about. So this is not a bad place to be in, because at this point you've realized you're willing, and this person here is willing to be taught. That's a O, not an A. Sorry. They're willing to be taught. How willing are you to be taught? I mean, think about it. How willing are you to be taught? You know, I think about this all the time, because I've had so many people around me that, and I've been really blessed to have a lot of people around me that are very smart and very capable and are able to accomplish a great many things. If I am willing to listen and hear what they say, then I can move from this to this. And this is where you really want to be. Or you don't want to be, depending on who you ask. Because once you get here, you're willing and you're able. Have you ever had an employee? Some of you that have businesses, you have to do things, or you have people under you. You want everybody to make it, but they're going to be in one of these four categories. And if they are unwilling but able, there's not much you can do. Even though they're able, and that's what catches me every time, because they're able, they are well capable of taking this land, as God told Joshua, but they were unwilling to do it. Now this one over here, I don't know, you need to get saved. It's all I can tell you. This one here, to be unable, is not a bad thing if you are the one that recognizes that you're unable. Because I know a lot of people that are unable that think they are able, and they can't do it. It's like Dad talks about the person that they wanted to have a singing career, and so they recorded themselves, and when they recorded themselves, they listened back to it, and Dad was thinking, oh, they'll know that they don't. Basically, Dad was thinking, in Dad's mind, I know what he was thinking, they'll finally see that they are not any good. And they listened to it, and they thought they were the best thing since iced tea, you know. Well, that was deception in their own mind and in their own thinking. They couldn't, even though they might be willing, they're still unable to sing. It ain't gonna happen. It'd be like trying to build a car. Let's just say I got a frame. I got a frame of a car right here. I want to have a race car, but I don't have the ability to make a race car. I have to become teachable by somebody that knows how to do that. Then And only then will I fit in this category here where I am both willing and able to build a race car. And I'm going to be willing because most of the time it's going to be because of some kind of relationship that I have with the person that's building the race car. I've passed through this because they're the ones that taught me how to do it, and I'm not just going to go out and try to start my own business because now I know what to do, and y'all, ain't nobody tell me nothing. I know what I'm doing. No. This one right here is what your employer, your boss, everybody's been trying to get you to. The place of being willing and able. It's not always easy. This right here requires teaching and experience. You have to learn something. You have to sit down. You have to listen to somebody. You have to listen to what they're saying. When I said that to Apostle David, I don't want to do things my way. I want to do things your way. What did I just do? I'm willing, I'm teachable, and I'm probably right, maybe about right here. Because we don't really like to look at ourselves and just admit to ourselves that we're not the great and mighty whatever that we think we are. What ends up happening is we try to overcompensate for this, and this. And you know how we do it? We lie. Oh, I can do that. And then, I can ride that motorcycle. Have you ever had anybody, one of your friends around you that you all were riding motorcycles and stuff, and they were like, yeah, I can do that. And they've never done it, never got on a motorcycle in their life. And then the next thing you know, you're dialing 911, trying to dig the gravel out of their face and all this kind of stuff. That's what happens. But when you get to this place, being willing and able, what does it mean to be willing? Well, it's just like what I told Dad. I said, Dad, I don't care. My place is by his side. I don't care about anything else. This is the first time in my entire life that I have ever been submitted in my own mind and in my own heart. And if nobody likes it, I don't care. I don't care. This is the first time I've ever done this. I'm doing it. I'm going to do it. I'm doing it now. Because I see in him the willingness, and I saw this in him, but God made the difference. God put him in this arena. He didn't put himself in that arena. And most of the time, and a lot of times, what you're going to find is you're trying to do everything just right and all this kind of stuff, and God's the one that's got to put you in this arena because God's the one that's got to break down your will. Your will has to be broken. And some of us, like Stephanie, certainly not me, are stubborn, hard-headed, and we don't like to change. I was talking about you. I wasn't talking about me. You thought I was talking about me. She's like, well, amen, yeah. But this one right here, God is the one that puts you here. When it comes to kingdom ability, kingdom access. I almost started with 1 Corinthians, but I didn't want to do it before the holidays because when I do it, I want to do it on a series. But it's from 1 Corinthians. And there are a lot of things in 1 Corinthians that build up to doing this exact thing. Examine yourself. What do you think the Passover was all about? Paul said in the 11th chapter, he said, is it not for a man to examine himself? Well, how does a man examine himself? How does a man or a woman examine themselves? How do you do that? You only got one standard. That's him. That's Jesus. He's the standard. So when you see him, you start thinking, okay, all right, well, I missed it there. Well, you can get down on yourself. Fine. If you want to do that, get depressed, go take a depression medication that will cause thoughts of suicide and all this kind of stuff. It's always, it just gets me every time I see these commercials about somebody, it's some kind of depression medication. Now, I've been depressed. I've been depressed. I'm not going to say I haven't been, but I never had thoughts of suicide. But if I take your medicine, I'm going to have those thoughts? No. I'll deal with it myself. I'll worship. I'll put on some good music. I feel good in a minute. You got to be able to manage your feelings and your emotions. You have to be in charge of those. Those are not supposed to be in charge of you. You are to be in charge of those. So, like for instance, a man, he gets all upset and angry, and he just thinks that, oh, this was given to me so that I could be in control and take charge and all this. No, that's not why he gave it to you. He gave that to you so that when things go bump in the night, you are the one that has to bump back. You don't let your wife and your children be subjected to that. A man runs head first. That's the reason why the psychologists will tell you. A woman will wake up in the middle of the night at the most slightest whimper. A man will never know it. He'll never hear it. But if something goes bump, if something happens, we are wired to protect, to defend. That's what men do. And if we mess that up, we have perverted God's system. Just a little tidbit there. So what we're really wanting is we're wanting to get to the willing and the able. God's got to get us willing. What causes a man to go from persecuting Christians, holding the coats of the people that were stoning Stephen? What causes a man to go from that to writing two-thirds of the New Testament? The Apostle Paul. Because he had a lot of things going for him, but he was unwilling and he was unable because of the way he believed. But when he found God, he became willing really quick. It doesn't take long to get willing. All it takes is God, because you can get willing really quick. And then able. Here's the thing. If God called you to do something, then he gave you the ability to do it. He didn't call you to do something that you don't have the ability to do. He called you to do what you can do. Now, you can't do it without him, but you can still do it. And he wants you to rely on him to do it. And even though we're talking about the kingdom and things like that, you can use this in every single area of your life. Because if you're willing and you're able, you've got the crescendo. And once you get here, everybody thinks, oh, this is going to be wonderful. This is going to be great. I'm willing and I'm able. I'm finally willing and I'm finally able. And When you get there and you've died to yourself as much as you know how to die to yourself, you know what happens then? These people that won't pay the price to go here will come after. They'll do it physically. They'll do it emotionally. They will talk about you behind your back. I found so many things out about my dad this weekend that I don't even think he knows yet. Somebody say amen. Somebody shake their foot. I mean, it's like I'm talking to a bunch of, gosh. Stand up. Jar yourself a little bit. I know it's Wednesday. It's tough, isn't it? Hey, I feel it up here too. But this is the deal. And I'm closing. This is the deal. Keith, you'll know this. You'll see this. You'll see this in every person that you deal with in your job. You've got the people that are unwilling, but they're able. You can't do anything with them. I mean, what are you going to do? They can do it, but they're unwilling to do it. So what are you going to do? There's nothing you can do. You've got people that are unwilling and unable, and usually they don't even get hired to begin with. Hopefully. You've got the people that are willing and unable. Now, the people that are unwilling and unable, or willing and unable, basically all they need is teaching. All you got to do is teach them. Because they're willing, they just don't have the teaching. If you teach them, and that's where you have to, do they have the ability to learn? Do they have the ability to do that? And then you've got these right here, and these are the ones you're looking for. Keith, when is the last time you was on your job and you found one of these? Willing and able? Few and far between. But you can look at every area of your life, whether it's business, whether it's church, whatever it is. You can find these four categories in every. Now there are exceptions. I mean, there's details that go into it, but this simplifies the whole structure. Willing, able. Willing, unable. If they're willing and able, they're going to be the easiest person you ever worked with in your life. Hands down. Willing and unable. That means that you have to teach them. They're willing to do it. They just don't have the ability. They don't have the knowledge yet. So you have to be the one to teach them. So you have to become the teacher. And that can get frustrating when you spent all your teaching time teaching this and this. And that's where we get wore down. Because when we do something, we just think everybody else, maybe they don't know how to do it. But if they're unwilling and unable, they're not going to be any help to you. This is where you want to be. I don't have to know everything. I just have to know somebody and learn from somebody. So if I was going to work under Keith, first thing I'd do, I'd go to Keith. Okay, all right, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? What do I need to do? It's probably going to irritate you a little bit, but I'm willing, I'm just not able. Corey, with your business, you're doing your cars, right? If I came to you and I said, I need a job, I'm willing, but I'm not able. I'm not able until you teach me how to do it. And it's not just about doing it a certain way. I have to know how to do it his way. Just like with Apostle David. I have to know how to do it his way before I can ever understand how to do it the way God wants me to do. Does that make sense? Did y'all get anything out of this? I tried to make this real simple, and and then I'm going to pick on Logan about it. But anyway, I hope y'all got something out of it. You should be able to see this in not in your family, just in your family, just with your kids. Sometimes your kids, they want to do what you want them to do. They just don't know how to do it. I remember when I was a kid, there were things that were expected of us. I didn't know how to do it. I had to ask one of my brothers. I remember going to Brown's Farm Market, and there was a tractor. I mean, I'm telling you what, Vernon, that tractor was older than you. I'm telling you, it was older than you are. And I was out there, and they just expected that I could do anything because I was energetic, and I was younger back then, not as energetic now. But I went out there, I jumped on that tractor, and everything that I did was supposed to work. The clutch, the turning it on, all that kind of stuff, it was supposed to work. It didn't work. Some old farmer came out there. Thank God he did. He jumped up on that tractor with me, and he said, these things are tricky. There's a trick to them. And he showed me how to do it, and I never had a problem since. See, I was willing, I was just unable. I didn't have the experience that he had. He had the experience, and he was able to teach me because I was teachable. And I always loved doing that because I got to get out of the hot sun and ride the tractor and dump the peaches into a big pile of stuff, and that was kind of cool for me. But there's a big difference between head knowledge and experience. There's no way I would know. I mean, if I went out and tried to do some of the things you got, I have no idea how to do that. I'd have to come to you and ask you how to do that. Well, the thing that would keep me from doing that would be pride, because I don't want you to think any less of me, and that's not even the issue. The issue is I get to draw out of you the information and the wisdom that you have. That's what puts me here in the ability category. My willingness to be taught. My willingness to hear what others are saying. My willingness to hear what my wife says, even when I don't like it. Even when, no, man, okay, all right. These 4 categories, I promise you, you do this, if you've got employees, put them in these categories. Just write the name right here. Right here. And you'll find out who you got. You may love them. You may love them. But they're of no use. If they're here and here, they're of no use to you or to anybody else. But if they get here or here, and understand, it all starts with willingness. How willing are you to grow, to change, to learn something new? Amen? All right. I hope I did something. I hope that helped you. All right, Tim, you can go ahead and cut it out, because I'm certainly cutting it out.